Welcome back to another video. This is going to be my official draft prediction. Yeah, the reason why I'm holding this is because this has all the facts. So if you're like, why are you reading off a script? Alright, cue the intro. Alright, we're back. Officially, the Carolina Panthers have the first overall pick as a result of trading with the Lions, I think. Their top team needs are quarterback, cornerback, edge rusher, wide receiver, and center. In my opinion, they should obviously go with the quarterback since, like, they don't have anybody at quarterback. People say you should draft Bryce Young, but you have a better quarterback in C.J. Stroud, who is 6'3", where Bryce Young is shorter than I am. He's 5'10", dude. Yeah, that's short for a quarterback, and he's 194 pounds, bro. So, the pick is officially in. Here's my prediction. With the first overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select C.J. Stroud, quarterback from The Ohio State University. My analysis would be this is an excellent pick because, as shown before, why they wouldn't pick Bryce Young is because Bryce Young has struggled under pressure. Now, C.J. Stroud has had his faults, but those were in very, very terrible conditions. And last time I checked, CJ had more wins and almost went to the national championship. And he's also at 214 pounds, which he needs probably to gain more because that's Lamar's size and he's 6'3". But he will. I would like to say he's a dual threat quarterback, but like he didn't run that fast of a combine. But who knows? You never know. He just doesn't run that much. But when he does run, he's very effective. He has excellent, as I've seen watching all the Ohio State games this year, he has excellent accuracy, both short, medium, and deep. And when he throws deep, he throws right into his receiver's hands, which is sometimes very, very hard to do. You can do it, but like, he throws a very tight spiral so only his receiver can catch it, which many quarterbacks don't do in the NFL, which might be because they might cause a lot of interceptions. If you can only throw the ball where your receiver can catch it, that's an excellent throw, and that's an excellent ability. And he's an excellent pocket presence. Like I said, he's 6'3". You'll have no difficulties. He's the perfect size for a quarterback. Yeah, he will impact this franchise, his future, because they need a quarterback really badly. All right. The Houston Texans have the second overall pick. Their top team needs are quarterback, offensive guard, center, tight end, linebacker, defensive lineman, and an edge rusher. But the second overall pick, what I think they should go is obviously quarterback. You know where I'm going with this. With the second overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Bryce Young, quarterback from Alabama. I will analyze this. This is a risky pick. I know you're saying, well, Bryce Young's one of the best playmakers in all of college football. Well, that may be, but the NFL is a completely different game. I mean, look at how many busts there have been. Like, you could be a good playmaker in college, but in the NFL, you're playing against guys who are like 280 pounds and run like a 4.4. Like, if you go up against Micah Parsons, you're gonna need that size because he'll just maul you over. But the Texans don't face the Cowboys, which is luckily. It's a little bit of a risky pick because he is a great quarterback in college, but he has shown at times that he's choked in the end. Like, his team needed him versus LSU, and he couldn't get it done. But LSU is a great team. And then versus Tennessee, which I don't remember the last time Tennessee was good until last year. Before then, it had been, like, since Peyton Manning. He has great accuracy, but you would expect that because, like, he has, like, some of the best wide receivers. I mean, all Alabama quarterbacks have the best wide receivers because they all have the best of the best recruits. He's shown great velocity in his throws, which is needed. But he needs a lot more arm strength. He need now get to the negatives. Sometimes he stays on his first read too long, like, and sometimes he has impatient force and throws, which is why at times he's looked terrible. I mean, he had 17 incomplete throws versus, I think it was versus Tennessee. The Arizona Cardinals, and this goes out to Mr. Quiggle. You said I wasn't going to do it, but I didn't. I fulfilled my promise. I was going to do it. The Arizona Cardinals have the 3rd overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. They need an offensive guard. Their team needs are basically an offensive guard, center, edge rusher, cornerback, linebacker, running back, and offensive tackle. They are now on the clock. With the 3rd overall pick, well, people are speculating they can draft Will Anderson. Who else can they draft? They can draft Devon Witherspoon, Jalen Carter. People say that Jalen Carter should go before Will Anderson, but I think wrong because, first of all, the Arizona Cardinals don't need a defensive lineman. They need an edge rusher. With the 3rd overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Will Anderson Jr., edge rusher, University of Alabama. I have something to add. This is an excellent pick because they are picking the best edge and arguably the best defensive player in the NFL, in the entire draft. He's listed at 6'3.5" and is 253 pounds, which is a perfect size for a defensive end. He could maybe convert to linebacker if he wants. He's extremely athletic with a strong frame. He includes excellent burst in the first step and accelerates as soon as he zones in on a play. He is explosive both vertically and laterally, which is needed in the NFL. And during his time during Alabama, he would stuff the gap, basically destroying running backs' dreams, stopping them in their tracks. And you're not gonna get away from a 6'3" guy who runs like I think it was like a 4.6 was his time, and he has insane amounts of strength because I think he also was like a weightlifter during that time. Like he competed professionally. Basically what I'm saying is he's an athletic freak, which is a good thing. Because, I mean, he knows that he has incredible technique, and he knows that he's one of the most athletic defensive players on the field and probably one of the best defensive players on any field that he steps on, but he has worked on his technique over the year and it shows. He sometimes gets locked up when he is one-on-one with elite blockers who are especially bigger than him. At times he fails to drive power directly, which causes him to lose coordination and control on impact. But overall, he is the best, in my opinion, the best defensive player in that entire NFL draft. This is a great pick for the Arizona Cardinals, who were ranked 29th overall in defense last season, which is terrible. All right. The Indianapolis Colts have the 4th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. Their top team needs are quarterback, offensive tackle, cornerback, as in defensive back, wide receiver, edge rusher, and tight end. What I think about this pick is I don't think they should go with a quarterback since the two best QBs are off the board, and we got 2 defensive players that are game changers that is needed on this defense, because like you can't just have Darius Leonard carry you every play. They need secondary help, especially. Who are those players? Jalen Carter and Devon Witherspoon. I'm not going to mention, basically Jalen Carter is one of the highest ranked defensive tackles of all time with a 92.3 defensive grade. And Devon Witherspoon is something else. Like Sauce Gardner, he didn't allow a touchdown, and he only allowed 22 catches out of 62 times being targeted for 200 yards, and only allowed 1 catch in press conference. He's basically a lockdown quarter. He had 3 picks and 6 pass breakups, which is really impressive. All right, now it's time for them to make the pick. The Indianapolis Colts select with the 4th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, Jalen Carter, defensive lineman, junior. He's a junior from the University of Georgia. This is an excellent pick with them drafting. This dude is basically, you don't get how good Georgia's defense was with Jalen Carter as at the helm. 77 rushing yards a game was allowed against them. That's impressive in a league where rushers can get like almost 200 yards a game. And in 2022 alone, he created 31 QB carries and had an 18.9% pass rush win rate, which is unheard of, even in the NCAA. He is listed at 6'3" and 300 pounds, who is an absolute beast of a human. He competes professionally in weightlifting. He squats 605 pounds and can bench press 400 pounds for fun. There was like a video of him, like he was bench pressing like 400 pounds like 50 times or something like that. Let's go to, he has his elite first step quickness, which I've seen when Alabama's played. He literally stops running backs right in their tracks. And do you think running backs can go away when like they already have the offensive line to evade around? He literally swallows them up. That sounded sus. What I meant was he literally stops them right in their tracks. Like Anderson, he has elite lateral quickness, which is important because not a lot of defensive tackles have that great of lateral quickness. And he has insane change of direction ability. Like, I've seen it. I'm like, dude, did this guy used to play linebacker with his change of direction? He can redirect momentum, which is a rare skill. And he is perfect at timing the snap, which you want, because you want the guy to get to the quarterback. He has insane power generation that he instantly puts into contact. So pretty much if you get hit by this guy, you're going down. You're not going to break his tackle, especially since that 300 pounds of power a 300 pound person can generate a lot of power if they hit somebody, especially if they are a literal bodybuilder pretty much. He makes the running back regret ever running in the gap he is covering. He basically erases them from the game pretty much. The Seattle Seahawks have the 5th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. Their team needs are center, safety, linebacker, defensive lineman, wide receiver, and offensive guard. The player in mind is Devon Witherspoon because they need a safety, but they could also need some help in their secondary, which is, like I said, I've said this before, their secondary is pathetic. It has some of the worst guys. Now let's get to this. He is the best corner in the NFL Draft. It's either that or between the other guy who will end up getting drafted in this video. The Seattle Seahawks select with the 5th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, Devon Witherspoon, corner from Illinois. I wouldn't go offensive line in this situation because, like, it's not really needed as much because there's not that many great ones. Like last year, there were tons of people. I mean, wouldn't you want to draft a corner who didn't allow a single touchdown? I don't care who you're facing. That's an amazing accomplishment. He could have a season like Sauce Gardner, who was an absolute beast. Receivers don't really gain yards on him. Probably because he's fast and can literally out jump them. I mean, he's 5'11", but their corners are like 5'9" and still good. Like it's 5'11" is 6'2" range for a corner. Now it doesn't really even matter as long as you can have insane athleticism and jumping ability. He has explosiveness that also makes up for it. I mean, so this is a great pick for them. I mean, they really needed it. And the Seahawks really need corner help, like I said. The Detroit Lions have the 6th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. Their top team needs are tight end, cornerback, defensive lineman, offensive guard, and quarterback. People may wonder, should they go with a quarterback? No, and here's why. Because it isn't a top need this currently. I mean, Jared Goff had a rough start, but he's starting to get back to his old form. And also, they can always draft another quarterback, because I'm pretty sure they have 2 first-round picks. Or 3, I'm not sure. And some quarterbacks who could possibly be Pro Bowlers could still be on the board. Will Levis is still on the board, and in some predictions he falls a lot because of like certain points this year he looked terrible, but he also played really good. Christian Gonzalez from Oregon is a good player who is someone you should watch for. He's a corner. And the best tackle in the draft, Peter Skoronski from Northwestern. Yeah. The pick is officially in. The Detroit Lions select with the 6th overall pick in the NFL Draft Christian Gonzalez, cornerback, Oregon. This is an excellent pick. You may say, but he was projected to be only like the 10th overall pick or 11th. And I'm like, dude, there are players who have been projected to be, I mean, look at what happened to Justin Herbert that one year. He was projected to be like, in some drafts, like 20th overall, and he was picked with like the 3rd pick. I forget what he was, but he was a top 10 pick. I mean, if you look at Christian Gonzalez, he's the perfect cornerback. He has the size of being 6'1", 197 pounds. He runs a 4.38 40-yard dash. That is fast, bro. Receivers don't even run that fast. Other than maybe Tyreek Hill, but he had 17 pass breakups. Unheard of. 3 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries. He's a game changer on defense, and you don't want to end up running routes against him. He's, like I've said, he's extremely fast with elite athleticism and destroys receivers with his speed because most of them can't outrun or outjump him. He has a 41-inch vertical, which was 2nd among corners during the combine. That is a high jump. The dude's got hops. He has smoothness in and out of breaks and has excellent speed as he's turning deep into the field on deep throws, which is a mistake some quarters make where they are slow. Like they'll backpedal slow downfield and then the receiver just burns them. It doesn't matter if a receiver is a step or 2 ahead of him. He will then, because it only takes 3 steps for him to just explode, bro. He'll literally get right back on him. Even if the ball is thrown, he'll just start sprinting and then he'll just break it up. He has instant leverage against players, and as soon as he starts getting heated up, you will be shut out of the game. Like, you won't get any catches. He reminds me of Jalen Ramsey in a way, because they're around the same size. I think Jalen Ramsey's like an inch taller than him. All right. The Las Vegas Raiders have the 7th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. Their top team needs are offensive tackle, offensive guard, center, cornerback, defensive lineman, linebacker, and safety. Now let's look at this. The Raiders could go with any player they want right now. Like, they have Jimmy Garoppolo, so they don't need a quarterback. It's simple. They need to protect the big man in Jimmy G, who has proven that he can get to the Super Bowl. The last time he was in the Super Bowl, he was against the Chiefs. Now the pick is in. The Las Vegas Raiders select with the 7th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, Peter Skoransky, offensive tackle from Northwestern. This is a perfect pick. This is an absolute steal. This dude was projected to be a top 5 pick, and they're taking him at 7. He's the best tackle in the NFL Draft, and he's an absolute beast of a human. He's 6'4", 313 pounds. He's not a kid. This dude is a man. I think the way I've seen him play, he might have a little bit of Viking blood in him, bro. He literally led the O-line at Northwestern that only allowed 1.29 sacks a game. That's impressive. And I know I hated whenever my Ohio State would face Northwestern, because I was like, why can't we get past them? And then I looked at that dude and I'm like, yeah, that's probably why. He has a quick first step right off the snap, which allows him to get the edge on pass rushers who are quick as well. He's the first person to make contact of both teams on the field, which is really good if you're an offensive tackle. He has insane footwork that helps him against pass rushers so that they can't even get past them, even if they are pushing him as hard as they can. He has battled some of the most elite athletic pass rushers in all of college football and has pretty much won every time. He is both elite in the run game and the passing game, which you don't see in tackles. Usually they have a strength in one and need improvement on the other, but not him. And he has insane football IQ, which is shown when he thinks of countless ways to counter and diagnose blitz and whatever pass rushers tend to throw at him, which requires a lot of football IQ. The Atlanta Falcons have the 8th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. Their top team needs are quarterback, edge rusher, linebacker, cornerback, safety, defensive lineman, and offensive guard. This is a great opportunity for the Atlanta Falcons, who are currently in a rebuild. I think they should go with a quarterback because they have nobody at quarterback. They could either draft Will Levis from Kentucky or Anthony Richardson from Florida. You can't go wrong with those two. Maybe Anthony Richardson. He is pretty young. He's only like 20, and he's only really gone up because of the combine. But he also is talented. The pick is in. The Atlanta Falcons select with the 8th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, Will Levis, senior from quarterback from Kentucky. I think they've selected their quarterback of the future. Will Levis is a really good quarterback. He's 6'4" and 229 pounds. He was projected in some drafts to go top 5. And he's the perfect size for a quarterback. He has elite velocity on throws with ease, and it translates to all ranges across the field, whether it is short range, medium range, or whether he's checking it deep. He has a very strong arm that even translates when he's off balance, which is very rare, because a lot of quarterbacks, when they're off balance, they don't have as much arm strength because they're off balance. But he has very great coordination. And he shows that he's accurate, but at times he's shown he's not as accurate, but everybody has bad games. All right. Down to the last 2 picks. Let's try not to get this video to 40 minutes. The Chicago Bears have the 9th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. Their top team needs are defensive lineman, edge rusher, offensive tackle, center, cornerback, and tight end. I think this is a perfect opportunity to rebuild, since they basically gave away Khalil Mack after trading 2 first-round picks for him. And they need to draft a defensive player. And I'm not telling you my player I have in mind. But if they don't draft a defensive player in this, these defensive players who some are once in a generation or just really, really good and are going to make the Pro Bowl eventually, they're going to regret it. The Chicago Bears select with the 9th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft Tyree Wilson, edge rusher from Texas Tech. This dude is a monster of a human. I mean, he's 6'6", 271 pounds, which perfect edge rusher, bro. Dude, if you go up against him, he will pummel you into the ground. I think he ran like a 4.6 or something, or 4.5. I don't know what he ran, but he is the perfect combination of sheer speed and power, and his acceleration is insane as soon as the ball is snapped. He has long-range explosiveness, bro. That means that he doesn't really ever get tired, and he has the same explosiveness every play, which means he has incredible endurance, which is needed in the NFL because you can't really get tired or else you could cost your team the game. And he is a quarterback's worst nightmare. You better get the ball out, because as soon as he locks eyes on the target, which is the quarterback, you're going to get sacked unless you throw it away quickly. My least favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles, or as I call them, the E-Girls, have the 10th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. Their top team needs are safety, running back, linebacker, defensive tackle, edge, wide receiver, and offensive guard. There's only one man I think they should draft, and it hurts me to say this because I wanted the Cowboys to draft him. Bijan Robinson, the humiliator of defenses. That's what I like to call him because I've seen him play in college, and he's probably one of the best running backs I've seen since Zeke. All right, the pick is in. He also has a 4.46 40-yard dash, which is good, and a 37-inch vertical. All right, the Philadelphia Eagles select with the 10th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft Bijan Robinson, running back from Texas. They needed a replacement for Miles Sanders, who left in free agency. He is an elite runner. I mean, you've seen all the hype around him. I don't need to say this twice. He can hurdle you. He can spin right around you, making you look. Imagine bringing your family when you face Bijan Robinson, and he just spins around you. You're gonna look like an idiot. He will juke you out of your boots. This isn't even the part of the script. He can do it all, and he is the ultimate workhorse. He can carry the ball 20 times and more a game and not get tired because he loves getting that football. And he can catch the ball too, which is good because you don't want a running back dropping a pass, which is the most annoying thing ever. Zeke. Sorry, I had something in my throat. He's an absolute game changer, and hopefully the Eagles don't ruin his career like they did Carson Wentz. All right, that's the end of the video. All right, I'm back. I made a promise that I would make the video for you guys because I know you like me ranting about football. This was going to be originally a debate, but this would be like 60 minutes long. So, by the way, this was recorded on Wednesday night. It is currently like 1 in the morning. So, and by the way, I'm recording this on a ring light. See how, and this, by the way, is a green screen. So I'll have something cool on it, maybe. All right, peace. Love you guys. I'm better.